So we're now going to show you how to set up an AQUAbox Straight. So we'll make it so we've got multiple AQUAbox Straights. And unlike the AQUAbox Spyder, which is designed for an area, these are designed for long rows. And you can join them all together and irrigate long rows and then literally just plant the plants next to the strips, and we'll show you in the video in a sec. So you receive the AQUAbox, the brochure, the instruction sheet, a length of pipe, the AQUAbox Straight. I think this is around 1 to 1.2 meters of capillary matting. It's much wider than the AQUAbox Spyder capillary matting. A click fit connector with a filter, and the filter can be either way and can be cleaned out, and then you literally just tighten it up. If you need mole grips to make it tighter, just use mole grips or pliers. This then clips onto a click fit connector or a hose or lock tap. If you don't have a hose or lock tap and just have a bayonet tap, you can remove this fitting and just heat the pipe up and push that onto the tap on your water butt or your reservoir. So you have that, and then you also have a circular spirit level that fits in the top of the AQUAbox Straight, so you can ensure that it's level, and then also a 9mm top hat grommet that fits in the hole there, and then also inside is the AQUAvalve. So that's the contents for the AQUAbox Straight. So when you get your AQUAbox Straight, first thing to do is to take your circular spirit level and push it into the hole in the top. And you'll hear it click. Just make sure it's firmly pushed in, and once in position, that'll give you an indication that the AQUAbox Straight is level. Next thing to do is the hole at the front. Take your 9mm top hat grommet and literally push it into the hole. So you're now ready to install the AQUAvalve and the pipe. Once you've installed the circular spirit level and the top hat grommet into your AQUAbox Straight, next thing to do is to connect the pipe or push the pipe through the top hat grommet. So literally push it through. If you find it a little bit difficult, just wet the end of the pipe and it will slide through really easily. Just pull a certain amount through and then take your AQUAvalve, firstly pushing in the top silicone firmly as much as you can and making sure that it sits on the hole below on the AQUAvalve there. Then remove the collar, slide the collar onto the pipe, and then push the AQUAvalve onto the pipe. Tighten up the collar, and when you feel it grip, stop. There's no point, or not necessary to over tighten it. Then literally pull the pipe back through. And what you're aiming to do is locate this half moon on the AQUAvalve with the T section in the tray just there. Once you've located the two parts, then you can simply push the AQUAvalve onto the T section. So I've pulled the AQUAvalve and the pipe all the way through. I'm now pushing the AQUAvalve onto the T section on the main body, and that's now connected. And then you close the lid, and then that will be, I'll position it this way, and that's ready now to connect your matting. Once you've connected the AQUAvalve and the pipe to the AQUAbox Straight, then simply take your matting and cut it in half. So just measure it like so. Take your scissors and then cut it. So one side of the matting is going to go on this side, another matting is going to go on that side. So we'll position it roughly so. You can see the channels where the matting is going to go through here and here. They're not quite centre, so just ensure that you position the AQUAbox Straight in the centre so that when you plant up, this matting is in the centre of this bed here. So literally all I do, it can go any way up, it doesn't really matter. I'll pull it through, and once again I'll roll this a couple of times. There are no tongs in here at all. You're tucking it down the side of the AQUAbox and the AQUAvalve. So I'll roll it a couple of times, and that'll help it jam down there. And I'll take my scissors and I'll just push it. If it's not quite tight enough, then what you can do is just roll it a little bit more, so you've got increasing the thickness and making sure that it goes all the way down to the bottom of the box. And then repeat on the other side. So thread the matting from the outside in, or inside out, it's really whichever's easiest for yourselves. Like so. It doesn't have to go right to the bed, the end of the bed. Once again, I'll roll the end up a couple of times just to increase the thickness, and I'll tuck it down the side of the AQUAbox and the AQUAvalve, and that'll help it grip and stay in place. So literally that's the matting set up. So I now position that, and that's ready for me to just push it down. And what I'll do now, you could create a little mound here for it to sit on, but what I'll do, I'll literally push the matting to push it further down there to create a slight gradient, not so much here, and then just gradually increase the pressure so you've got a slight gradient there. And another little option, because you're going to plant here and here, either side of the matting, what you can do, you can cut along the length of the matting if you want to. It's just an optional option if you want to do this. And then what I'll do, I'll cut it to almost up to the AQUAbox Straight. And then what that'll do, it'll then give me a little bit of a bigger area like so. So you could do that if you want to. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to have a single strip. So once again, I'll push it further down there. Not so much closer to the box, and further down there. And then that's now ready to top up with soil. And I'll repeat the process on this side here, so I have two AQUAbox Straights irrigating this narrow raised bed. So now both AQUAbox Straights are set up. I push the ends of them in, and both these mattings will literally touch in the middle there. So you've got one length of matting under there, one under here, one under there, and one under here. So that's now ready. Firm it down. Make sure that your spirit level on the top and both of them is pretty central. And now you're ready to top dress with another layer of compost or topsoil, and then you're ready to plant up. So once you've positioned your AQUAbox Straight or AQUAbox Straights, because obviously I'm using two here to irrigate this long raised bed that I've joined together. If you've got a long drill in an allotment, you probably space these about 1 metre apart, and then have the matting come in at 1/2 metre, slight gradient away from each AQUAbox Straight, and just carry on going. And you can have them in sequence and literally just plant next to the strips, and the strips, the plants will attach onto the capillary strips, draw the moisture off, and then gradually they'll take control of the AQUAboxes. So what I'm going to do, I'm now going to top up the raised beds with a bit more compost. Make sure you close the lids, because you don't want to get soil inside the AQUAboxes. And then I'll just spread out the compost. When I get to the AQUAbox, I can just move the soil off the top of it. You always want to give yourself access so you can just check every now and again throughout the season. So you can grow herbs, you can grow pumpkins, you can grow courgettes, you can grow whatever you want to, really. I mean, once the AQUAvalve, or once the roots attach onto the capillary matting, they will literally take control of the watering. So now I'm pretty much all levelled off. Just find this other AQUAbox. There. And then I'll firm round each AQUAbox just to make sure it's nice and clean, and when you open the lid you don't get soil inside. Same with this one. And it supports them as well once you firm the soil down, and obviously once you water through, then that will compress the soil down a bit. So that's now set up and ready for watering through. So once you've set up your AQUAboxes either in sequence or just by themselves, or the AQUAbox Straight just by itself, then take a watering can and a rose and water everything through thoroughly to run off, really. You want to basically settle all the soil in around the AQUAbox and make sure that everything's so thoroughly wet, really. So I'll continue after the video's finished and soak off the rest of that, but thoroughly. And you can wash the top of the AQUAbox Straight and the water will settle around it. And once you've thoroughly soaked this narrow raised bed, or the drills or the rows that you're growing in and your allotment, then you're ready to connect to the reservoir. So for the purposes of this video, I'm using just an ordinary 47 litre plastic container. You can use any plastic container, really, a waste paper bin, whatever you like. You drill a hole at the bottom using a step drill, not an ordinary drill. Drill a 12mm hole and then push a 9mm top hat grommet. That's an additional extra that you'd have to if you wanted to do it this way. As standard, you would have one of these fittings which clicks onto the tap. Like I said, if you haven't got a hose or lock tap, you can remove this fitting and just push the pipe onto the bayonet tap. There's a filter inside here so you can filter. You can also add liquid fertilizer in your reservoir. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to connect one AQUAbox Straight to that T section there, the other end to that T section there, and then that's now ready. So if I turn on the tap, just make it in line, and if I open up this AQUAbox Straight, you'll see the water starting to fill the AQUAbox Straight. And once the water's reached the level which is roughly halfway on the black collar where the AQUAvalve, where it's connected to the AQUAvalve, that'll stop. And then what will happen, the capillary matting will draw the moisture out of the AQUAbox and then underneath the soil level. So in the early part of the season, what you want to do is water the bed through thoroughly, plant up, allow water the plants in, and then let the plants establish before you turn the AQUAbox Straights on. Once you're happy that the plants have established, then what you do is you turn on your tap, and you can have it on for a day and off for 4 or 5 days. Once the weather starts getting warmer, then you can turn the AQUAbox Straights on permanently. Thanks very much.